Hey everyone, it's Michael Goosebumps fan. I need a haircut so bad. This whole U.S. shutdown, especially here in Virginia, has me not being able to get a haircut. I'm gonna have a freaking mullet by the time the quarantine lets up. Anyway, today, as you can tell from the title, it is a book haul. And I have kind of a mixture going on here. I have Goosebumps books, hardcover Goosebumps books, most of them. I have one paperback of that. And a lot of things like Goosebumps books that I'm also going to show in this haul too. They happen to pretty much, as far as I remember, all be R.L. Stein books. I do have some other stuff coming in, in the future. I don't know how soon it's going to be. Apparently something was notified today. By the way, these are the books I talked about in the last book haul. That, in case you missed this, basically the office at my fiance's apartment that I got this stuff shipped to because we were supposed to get married and I thought I needed to have my shipping address there, and then the office is shut down too because of all this quarantine stuff. For whatever reason, my fiance was able to get in there today, legally, and get our stuff, our packages we'd ordered. So a lot of my stuff came today at one time, and I wanted to show them to you here. So I finally got all this stuff, and a lot of the stuff I'd been kind of hinting at for the last few weeks for you folks, when I have made book haul videos referring to things. I got some great stuff this week I'm so excited to talk about. By the way, in case I look like I'm blinking a lot with this eye or something, basically, I have really bad allergies. I don't know if you can tell how swollen my eye looks a little bit. And it's a little bit on a delay, I'm not going to lie to you, so sometimes I blink this eye and that eye has to catch up a couple of seconds later, so you never know, it might happen, it might not. But anyway, and sometimes it goes blind, like kind of blurry. I don't like it. I know what it's like now for people who have to wear glasses. I've never had to do that myself, so it's weird for me when I blink and everything's a little blurry in that one eye. I don't like it. Anyway, allergy season needs to hurry up and go on. Anyway, let's go ahead and show the stuff for the book haul. The first one I want to show is one that I thought I was getting a while back in one of my book hauls when I first started collecting the hardcover or library edition, if you want to call them that, library binding books of Goosebumps. This one I got a while back, but it was a jumbo large print edition, so it was enormous. I mean, freaking enormous, like the size of a textbook you'd use in elementary school. This is the original real size of a regular Goosebumps book, library bound, binding, whatever edition of Night of the Living Dummy. Yes, I finally have a real copy in hardcover. Listen to this. Yeah, how cool is that? This is a hardcover copy. I'm so freaking stoked that I finally got my hands on this. There's a lady that I buy this stuff. Oh, well, I think it's a married couple, actually. But the name is very feminine on there, but I believe it's a married couple that sells things on eBay. And they get a lot of Goosebumps stuff. A lot of Goosebumps stuff, book-wise. Not really any kind of merchandise in case you're into collecting that. It's usually just books and DVDs and stuff like that. So I usually go out to find them, every time I go to look for their stuff. And I was so shocked when I saw that they had this. I could not believe it. I about fell out of my chair. And again, I have the big, huge, large print, which is probably even more hard to find than this, because for whatever reason, for people who collect everything, I just collect Goosebumps books and DVDs and movies and stuff. But yeah, I finally got my hands on a regular-sized, normal-sized hardcover copy of Not a Living Dummy, one of my favorite Goosebumps books out there. Really, really good book. If you haven't read it, you're missing out. This cover here scared everybody when we were all kids in the 90s. The next book, I know a lot of people are also going to be kind of pissed off about this too. It's one that would be really hard to find. I didn't know if I'd be able to find this in hardcover, but I finally found a copy of the original hardcover, not the reprint that I got. I think it was either the last video or the video before that I did a book haul. This is One Day at Horrorland. Look at that freaking hardcover cover, man. It's so cool. I love the original art that Tim Jacobus did for this. And the new one's okay. It's a little too cartoony, but I like the old one the most. But the fact that I got a hardcover from the same folks, pretty much all these hardcovers came from the same people, and the fact that I got my hands on this makes me even more happy and excited for it. They were also so kind. They actually gave me a discount on like 3 or 4 of the books, because they were like $10 a piece, and they gave me a discount on a bunch of them, gave them to me for free, basically. I think 2 or 3 of the books, because they realized they were all going to the same place. So yeah, I have this now. I'm really excited about this, all kind of looks the same as what you'd see on typical Goosebumps books, except for it's hard. Yeah, these are looking great, man. The covers look fine. The every once in a while you'll have like a little bit of a black area that's like a little bit of gooey stuff. I'm assuming it's a sticker that was removed at some point. There goes my eye being blurry again. Ugh, I hate that. Here's one of my favorites that everybody hates. I don't know why. I constantly, to this day, like a year after, almost after a year, since I had reviewed You Can't Scare Me, I still get comments from people. I think I've gotten 2 comments from 2 brand new subscribers this past couple of weeks who have told me how much they hate that book. I don't know why people despise that book so much. I guess it's just too slow for people. I don't know. I love You Can't Scare Me. I got the original book in hardcover. I think I had a hardcover that looked different. I believe. I could be wrong. I know I had the newer version with the newer cover on it. Not the Tim Jacobus art like we have here. But it is one of my favorites. It's one of those ones like Ghost Camp and Not a Living Dummy 3 that I just adore so much, and I have to get every copy I can possibly get of it. So I have this now. That's pretty cool. I love this old art, like I said, and the Mud Monster, it's one of my favorites. I love it. I think this is one of the best Goosebumps books I've ever read, and I highly recommend checking it out. If you haven't seen it before, if you haven't read this book before, you're missing out, I think. If you're a big fan of what I've always described, especially in my review, especially with like Ghost Camp and stuff, if you're a huge fan of urban legends, this book will be for you, because it's very much fixated on that kind of thing, and I think it's so freaking good. Nobody talks about You Can't Scare Me. It's amazing. This book here, I haven't actually read the book before. I have a paperback copy. I plan on reading it at some point. I noticed that this might be a little bit... if I didn't get my hands on this now, I was afraid that I would never get my hands on it. So I went ahead and bought it anyway, just in case. Just in case. And it may end up being really, really good. It may end up not being so good. I don't know. But hopefully it ends up being great. I'm hoping so, at least. So this one is very popular amongst many people. I've seen the TV episode. I own the DVD, the original DVD that came out for this TV episode, and I loved it. It was so good. I think I also have it on VHS now, as a matter of fact. I got a VHS kind of a haul a while back, and I'm pretty sure that's what I got on there too. So I have this particular book in a paperback, and I have the DVD episodes I've seen, so I know the plot twist and everything for the episode, which was genius from what I remember. But here we are, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, in hardcover. Yeah. I'm really excited about this. The back is kind of weird. The back is kind of like, it feels like it's a sticker that's about to come up, but I can't tell if it's like protective plastic or if it's the actual cover sticker coming up. I don't know. But yeah, Werewolf of Fever Swamp. When have you ever seen this in hardcover? That was a pretty big surprise for me to find that. But again, the folks that I bought this from, I love those two, or the one person. I don't know if it's a married couple. I can't remember. I think there was, because it says our shop. I don't know. But I'm thankful to them in general, because they always give me some really good stuff if I can get my hands on it before anybody else. Not that they contact me first or anything, but if I find stuff posted on my eBay, I immediately go for it from them. This one here is another hardcover that I don't think I have the original hardcover. I think I have the newer copy with the newer art. That's non-Tim Jacobus art in a hardcover copy. But I wanted the original because I really love this book a lot too. Again, it's very much in that urban legend fashion. A lot of people don't talk about this. And I don't know why people hate the TV episode. It's not the worst of the series. It's just not. From the old 90s TV show. It is not the worst episode. I will still stand by that. Eventually, one day, I hope to be able to sit down and rank the episodes in order from worst to best. And it's going to be up there, man, because I love that episode. This book is Ghost Beach. Now, this is a different type of hardcover because, of course, it's a Pennyworth. Or Penworthy. Penworthy, yeah. Because the back has like a little Winnie the Pooh fella on it. The sides are white, and there's a white outline around the picture of the book and all that. I love Ghost Beach. I don't care what anybody says. I enjoyed it. I have a review here on the channel as well, in case you want to check out that review. This is a weird feeling thing. It's like the spine was designed for like a very, very young kid, unlike the last couple of books I showed you from other people that well, it's the same person I bought this from, but it feels like the spine is different. Like it's supposed to like sway a little bit easier. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like it could be a little bit more durable and flexible than a regular hardcover like what I just showed you with the other Goosebumps books that I bought. But still, Ghost Beach. I'm excited to have it on my shelf because I love Ghost Beach. The next book here is the last that I got from this couple or single person. I don't know. But this one I was really excited to find too. I could not believe that I was able to get a copy of this, because the second book I can't find in hardcover. I don't know what it is, whether it be in the large jumbo print or whether it be just in a small basic form like what I've been showing you in this video. I've had such a hard time trying to find the second book, but I did find the third book, and it's an important book to me because I love it. It's my favorite out of the series at this point. So far, off the top of my head, Not a Living Dummy 3 in hardcover, yes. I'm really stoked to have this. There is this one weird thing about the book. Of course, it is a Penworthy, of course, but I noticed right here there's a hole in the pages. Somebody freaking hollowed this book out to be, I don't know what it would be for. Like, in movies when they do that, they put like knives and stuff inside of books and guns and stuff like that. This, you couldn't even put a pencil into it. So, I don't know what happened there, but Night of the Living Dummy 3, ladies and gentlemen, I have a copy of it in hardcover. I'm so excited to have that. Really, really stoked. I'm loving having hardcover Goosebumps books. Not that I want to get a whole collection or anything. I'm just buying the books that I really, really love. And if it's a book like The Fever Swamp that I'm pretty confident I'm going to love because I love the TV episode, then I will buy it regardless. So I'm hoping that I can get the Goosebumps books in hardcover that I really, really want and not build a giant collection of another 62 hardcover books. I don't want to do all that. That's too much. Now, there was a situation that happened here that was kind of okay of a situation, but kind of pissed me off at the same time. When I was looking at eBay, I thought I also came across some luck, even though I don't believe in luck. I thought that maybe I had found a Haunted Mask 2 in hardcover, and I did not. Now, the people who posted it, Better World Books, I've had bad encounters with them in the past, but I will give them credit this time around. They did go well on this. They gave me a paperback copy of Haunted Mask 2. However, the last copy that I have of Haunted Mask 2, the first copy I ever had with this cover, the Tim Jacobus art, which, by the way, this is one of my favorites of the Haunted Mask series, probably like my number 2 in my ranking, I believe is what it was, when I did my ranking video of the Haunted Mask series. I really, really, really love Haunted Mask 2. I needed an update copy, because this is in such better condition, such better condition compared to what I had before. So it doesn't have, like, cut off sides and corners and stuff, and pages aren't ripped out and all that, so it kind of worked out okay, and they actually gave me a full refund and told me to keep the book and not send it back. So I thought that was a really nice move of Better World Books. I want to give them credit where credit is due. That I really appreciated that. I was going to send it back if they told me to, but they told me to go ahead and keep it. They didn't realize they made a mistake about listing it as hardcover on eBay, and they did well on it. So again, if you're a business owner out there, be good to your customers, because we appreciate it. I promise you, we will, and we'll give you a good word on that. So yeah, Better World Books. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's a good book. Now, we move on to the Things Like Goosebumps books, which again, pretty much all of these, I think when I was glancing through them, were all R.L. Stein books. I bought a big box haul for like 10 bucks. It was nothing. I love going on eBay and looking for children's horror book hauls, or lots, is what they're called, L-O-T-S, or just children's book lot, or anything like that. And you can find usually big old like 8 or 10 book collections for 10 bucks, about $1 a book basically. Shipping is like $3 because people just want to get them off their hands and get rid of them. So if you like children's horror, kind of like I do with Goosebumps and Skeleton Man, you know, stuff like that, the Haunting of Derek Stone, if you like things like that, you can usually find big book hauls from like the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s on eBay for a really, really good price if you want to buy just a bunch of books at one time. I can't promise you they'll all be R.L. Stein, but you can find a lot of R.L. Stein ones out there as well, just like with this one. So that's exciting. I'm glad I had that. Of course, my taxes came back, so I bought a whole lot of stuff with my tax money. Probably a bad financial decision, but still, I didn't spend all my tax money. Not even close to it. Not even close to it. But I did spend quite a bit on some books because I wanted some good stuff, and hopefully the rest of the stuff will come in soon. My eye is so blurry I can't see, and it distracts me from you guys. I feel like I'm going cross-eyed, even though I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Anyway, the first book here is a point horror book. It's one of the series that R.L. Stein was doing, I think, before Goosebumps, like in the 80s, like early 80s. This is Babysitter 2. There's a series, I think, of 4 or 5 books called The Babysitter. I think I own 1 or 2 of these already. Written by R.L. Stein. Babysitter 2. I don't know what these are. I'm assuming point horror is kind of like the precursor to Fear Street, or maybe was coming out at the same time as Fear Street, something like that, where it would be the kind of idea of serial killer type stuff. I read a book last year called Halloween Night, and it wasn't a point horror book, but it was kind of that type of thing that R.L. Stein had done, where it was it was evolving into a group of kids want to kill a girl type thing. Like, it was kind of like that, and it was really good. It was a really good book. I recommend it. I did a video here on my channel for it if you want to check it out. It's a Things Like Goosebumps video, in case you can't find it. I'm curious what the Babysitter books are going to be like, because I hear a lot of good things about these and the Silent Night books. I think they're called Silent Night, I'm pretty sure. But, I don't know. What do you think about the Babysitter series? Have you read these? Please don't spoil anything for me. I haven't read most of Fear Street, or pretty much any of Fear Street for that matter. There's a lot of stuff out there. I haven't read any point horror books. The first point horror book I owned, I think it was a point horror, was The Boyfriend, I think is what it was. Something like that. So, I'm trying to make my way into some of that R.L. Stein stuff that I haven't read before. Not right now, but like to have it just in the future. If I live long enough, I could possibly read them and review all of them for you guys. Possibly. I don't know. Because eventually I'm going to run out of Goosebumps books, you know what I mean? So I'm going to have to kind of evolve into something else at some point. Maybe just doing things like Goosebumps videos in the future. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of kids' horror movies and stuff out there right now. So, you have things like Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that's about it, you know? Monster House. Monster House is another one people bring up all the time. Anyway, the next book is one that I also don't think I have. It's The Babysitter 3. So I have that now. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to have it. Maybe good. Might be. This is in really good condition, by the way. Pretty much all these books were in really good condition that I got in this haul, this lot, whatever. The next one is one that I see posted all the time on eBay. I'm a little worried that this is going to end up being a bad book because I see it all the time, whether it be in hardcover, paperback, any of that. So I'm a little worried about this one. I'm hoping it's good. It is Beach Party by R.L. Stein. This is not a point horror book, as far as I know. I don't think it is. I don't think so. But I noticed, no, it is a point horror book because it has the line and point written in the top up there. I noticed something kind of funny in here. Somebody did like a Goosebumps animation thing. In the bottom corner, I noticed there was little stickers on the bottom corners, and like as you go through the pages, it's like a little cartoon. Like, I'm trying to find the best vantage point to try to show it to you. Yeah, it's not very good, but still, you know what I mean. It's like one of those little weird stop motion page by page type things. So that'll be fun to look at while I read this book and be distracted by the abominable snowman of Pasadena down there in the bottom moving around. That'll be odd. Must have been a Goosebumps fan. This book here, it looks like a straight up 1990s book, and it's in fantastic condition from what I can tell, but I don't know if I'm going to like this. I don't know. I bought it just because it was in the lot. I thought it was bizarre enough that I haven't heard of this book before. I don't know if you guys have, but if you're an R.L. Stein collector, let me know. I'd love to hear what you think about the book. It's by R.L. Stein. It's called Phone Calls. When four teens get their wires crossed, they dial trouble. Yeah, look at that cover. Tell me that is not the most 1990s thing you have ever seen in your life. Oh my lord. This feels like a PSA, you know? But I can't tell what it is. Is it a point horror book, or is it just kind of like, what is this? I think it's just its own thing. It's not a point horror book. Yeah. It's weird, man. I can't understand why this exists. But hopefully it's good. If it's good, I haven't heard of it, so maybe it is kind of rare. I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But still, maybe it'll be good. I can do a video on it sometime. Possibly. This book here looks like it's going to be a very like a summertime type of book. So maybe I could read this during the summer. I don't really have anything to read during the summer aside from Say Cheese and Die books and the Mummy series, which there's a lot of both of those together. That's like 10 books right there. And you know, if you know my progress currently, I haven't been reading much. So, yeah, I'm going to get caught up eventually, God willing. But this book sounds kind of cool for a summer read. I think it's a summer read because it looks like a lifeguard skeleton, like a curly skeleton. I saw you that night, and I know what you did. Yeah, that's supposed to be like, I guess, a play on I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm pretty sure that's Curly in a lifeguard costume with a whistle. Because there's air inside of his lungs, you know, because he's a skeleton. He totally has lungs inside of that shirt. He just can't show you because that'd be nudity. Anyway, I hope this is good. I hope so. I hope all these books are good, but I have a lot of faith in Stein. Stein usually really impresses me with anything he does. I really like his work. I know a lot of people are kind of hit or miss with him. I really enjoy his work. My whole channel being based around Goosebumps should tell you a lot about my opinion of Stein. I own pretty much every Goosebumps book that's ever existed. Now I'm just buying double copies and hardcover copies and stuff like that. This book is one that I had heard about. I think it has to go along with the boyfriend, or the dead boyfriend, whatever the title of the book was I was mentioning earlier. This one's called The Dead Girlfriend. It's kind of a bizarre 80s type of cover that I thought was kind of cool. So hopefully that's good too. I love how all these books are really short too. That's one thing that I've really liked about R.L. Stein's older work too, and kind of the newer Fear Street and stuff too, is that they're always short. They're like 200 pages, not even that, like 170, 180 at maximum. I prefer that because I like short books. I don't like super in-depth, really trying to dig into everybody's psyche type books. I've gotten out of that. There are certain books that I love from Stephen King, like Do McKee and Bag of Bones, that really excels that, and it really makes that book more special than it should be. And most books that try to do that don't do it as well. So I don't like it. I usually like more type of smaller books like this that have less detail and just have decent characters. That's all I really want. I just want to be entertained. I don't really care about how good the characters are. That's why I read Goosebumps. Goosebumps doesn't have the best characters ever. They just kind of have the same thing over and over again. You just read the story they go through. You know, that's my thing. That's what I love about that. So Fear Street's apparently very common of being like that too. Point Horror apparently is the same way. It's just an R.L. Stein type thing. It's just the way he writes his books. I'm fine with that. I think other people are that are fans of Stein anyway. So hopefully the Dead Girlfriend will be possibly good too. And I'm going blind again. Ugh. This one here I feel like I've heard about in passing on the internet, but I don't think I've ever read it. I'm pretty sure I've never read it for sure, but I'm pretty confident I've heard about this book somewhere. It's by R.L. Stein, once again. It's called Blind Date. So, looks pretty cool. I don't know what it's going to be about. I guess a blind date, but oh well. Maybe she's blind too, like me. Maybe it's allergy season during the book. This book here was real weird. It's like an 80s R.L. Stein book from Apple Paperbacks. Let's see what the copyright date is on this book. 1983. Wow. Twist a Plot. Oh, it's a choose your own adventure book. I didn't realize that. So it's like the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I didn't even realize that until I read the front. It says Twist a Plot. Anyway, Golden Sword of Dragon Walk. It doesn't say what book of the series this is, but it's kind of like a Give Yourself Goosebumps type book. So I'm excited about that. I didn't know I was getting that. That's pretty awesome. I've never heard of the Give a Plots. I've heard of Choose Your Own Adventure, Give Yourself Goosebumps, some of those other type things like that, but I've never heard of this, so that's different. Have you guys heard of this? How many books has R.L. Stein written, for God's sake? Good Lord. This is a book series that had a TV show, and the TV show terrified me when I was younger. But I never read the books. I didn't even know there were books until I got older, until recently. Like the last couple of years I found out there were books. And I may or may not try to collect them. It seems to me like they're kind of hard to come by. I don't understand exactly how these come out. Like, did they put them all into a big hardcover book like I'm seeing floating around nowadays? Or were they a ton of individual books, like 18-book series or anything? The Nightmare Room, this is volume 1, book 1. I've never seen them in individual volumes. This is the only time I've ever seen this like this, on eBay or otherwise. I've seen the big hardcover, though, so I can't tell if they just took a bunch of the stories and put them into one big book, or if there weren't many books to begin with and they put them into one big Nightmare Room hardcover. I don't know what happened there. Please let me know. I'd love to find out, because I'm very, very confused on this series and how to collect these. Again, I'm buying them because they're Stein. You know, I like stuff that he writes, so I'm hoping that Nightmare Room will be good. I don't remember a thing about the TV show. I remember the one VHS tape at Hollywood Video when I was younger had the middle brother, Reese, from Malcolm in the Middle on it. And I remember that, well, there's advertisements for 2 and 3, books 2 and 3 on the back there. I remember the other VHS tape had Amanda Bynes on it, which I thought was interesting back in the day. I have not bought the VHS tapes for anybody who cares, but that could be something worth watching. I also saw on Amazon Prime, they have Dead Time Stories up now. I'm pretty sure Dead Time Stories was another 90s kids book series back in the day, so that was kind of surprising to see that listed on Amazon Prime, of all things, to watch for free if you have a Prime account. So I'm going to watch that possibly soon, depending on how many episodes there are. I think they also posted Erie, Indiana, which I've never read those books before. I've heard they're fantastic. I've heard they're better than Goosebumps, as a matter of fact. But I've never seen the show. I've never read the books. Those are kind of hard to come by too, so I don't really know. I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be like if I ever get my hands on it. This book is like brand new, by the way. I don't know how they kept it preserved that well. The last book I have here is another one that kind of surprises me. The back of the book says it's a part of a series called Especially for Girls. It's by R.L. Stein. It's called Broken Date. I don't know anything about this book. It looks like a 1980s book. It's a hardcover. There's the tapping noise for hardcovers. What's the copyright date on this one? They had a girl's name on the inside. Yeah, Especially for Girls. Super weird. 1988. Wow. I love the 80s anyway, so having Stein's books from the 80s, it's even more cool. That's pretty much the haul, guys. I had like 17 books this week. There are more floating around out there that are supposed to be coming to me. Like I said, something else got sent back to the post office, so I don't know what I'm looking for that I have to go pick up sometime, but there's something else waiting on me somewhere, so I'm going to have to go find that, you know. But for now, that's this week's book haul of Goosebumps and things like Goosebumps, pretty much all written by R.L. Stein as far as I know off the top of my head. And what are your thoughts on any of these books? Anything, Goosebumps and non-Goosebumps. Put your thoughts and comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me as I try to hurry up and finish reading My Hairiest Adventure. I'm still struggling through that book. It's not that it's bad. Again, like I said in my previous videos, it's not that it's bad, it's just I don't want to read it. You know, you ever been in a mood like that? That happens with Goosebumps sometimes. You just don't want to finish the book you're reading sometimes. And I'm going to finish it. I'm taking my time. It's been 3 weeks now. I've been reading My Hairiest Adventure. I've enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm into a whole bunch of other stuff right now. Anyway, what are your thoughts, guys? Put them down below. Thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.